Hello everyone, this is the start of a video series on showing asset creation for Cities Skylines from start to finish and how to optimize the asset for the game. By optimization I mean having a good mesh without any issues and a low resolution texture size, well, as low as you can go and keep as much detail as you can. For more information about optimizing assets, I wrote a guide for asset creators, which you can find in the description. In this video, which is the preparation phase, I will show you how to get the references and measurements of the building you intend to do. In this case, I'm making this building. So this is the video series. This is what the series will be about. And yeah, it never hurts to have as many photos from different angles and to get as many measurements as you can. But gathering photos, it's not a problem, but I guess getting measurements is a bit more challenging. So for that, I use two methods. One is grabbing measurements from Street View, directly from Street View, and the other is from Google Earth. I never use building plans as they are very hard to find unless you do, I don't know, a landmark building from a big city or something. So I have this one opened here as well. I'll just show you the two techniques, and after that you will see a sped up time-lapse on how I prepared for the current test that I'm doing. So now for the explanation. So let's go here, and usually what I take as a reference is a door or a window or something, or a human or a car, or I don't know. In this case I don't have any people, so I'm just going to use this door as a reference, and 90% of the cases the doors are 2.1 meters in height and 90 centimeters in length. This one seems to be larger, about 1 meter something. But just by looking at this image here, like, we can already see that those are very, very tall windows, same as those. As a matter of fact, the size of this window, the height of this window is almost the same as the door. And this part here seems to be the same as the brick, well, a bit more. But anyway, what I do is usually I try to position the camera. Remember that the Google camera is a 360 camera, so it's gonna distort the sides. Like you can see here, some distortion already. So I try to position the camera as best as I can to have a front view, something like this. And then I just grab a screen crop. I use a program called ShareX. And let's jump into Photoshop. So I'm just gonna paste the image here. And as you can see, the vertical lines are a bit weird. So I'm just gonna do a perspective crop and try to match this as good as I can. You don't have to be absolutely perfect, but it doesn't help to spend a bit of time. And once I have this, I'm just moving those sides and I'm looking at random lines like this one from here to see if it's matching like different elements of the horizontal lines. So if I keep moving, you can see that everything is pretty much fine. And I'm going to do the same with the vertical lines. I'm just looking, like, for example, this line here. I'm looking on the actual texture. Is it vertical? Does it follow that? Okay, seems about right. So I'm just going to crop it like this. And we can still see some distortion, but it's not really a big deal. After which I increase the canvas size. So I'm going to go with, like, I don't know, 5000 by 5000 pixels to have enough room. So like that. And we already said that we're going to base everything on the door being 2.1 meters. And we grab the marquee select tool, rectangular select tool, and we're just going to measure from top to bottom. And right now we can see it's around 150 pixels in height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale all of this until it's about 210. So 210 pixels from top to bottom, 194. So let's scale it a bit more. Again, you don't have to be extremely precise, just to get everything in, just to get all the measurements in scale to each other, in relationship with each other. So that's how you're gonna make a building good. So this is about 230 now. So you can either just keep fucking around with this until you get it to 210, or I don't know. Seems fine to me. Okay, now it's 210. So from here, I just usually make a new layer and I just add like measurements. Like this is 2.1. Now let's measure the windows. I believe it's again 2 point something. So I'm gonna mark from the top all the way to the bottom here, because we also have that intrusion there. So let's see, 230. So we can just grab here like 2.3. And what is the gap here? Like 317. So it's basically like 310, 320, 3.2, something like that. And from here you can get all kinds of measurements. Like this is about 46, so you can round it to 50. And yeah, keep going. And I don't know, this is like 1 meter by 1 meter, so 1 by 1, and so on and so forth. And that's mainly for figuring out how to make your mesh. And now for the length of the entire building and stuff like that, or how tall is this, well, this roof, you can grab it by measuring this pillar here. So we could do something like this, and this is like 3.2 meters. So from 3.2 meters you're gonna go upwards 50 centimeter, and that's gonna be where to position this awning. But let's say, how tall is this? And for that I'm just gonna use Google Earth, and I will show you two cool ways to grab some measurements from there. So first of all, let's grab the coordinates of this thing. It's basically everything until the second comma. So we can just go here and click search, and let's wait for it to zoom over there. Okay, we got it, and we keep zooming and zooming and zooming and zooming and zooming. And by holding control, I'm moving the pen of the camera. So I want top view. And here is the thing. If you look at the bottom corner here, it says elevation. And basically whenever I look at the street level, okay? So the street level, it says elevation 12 meters, okay? And now this one here, it says elevation 21 meters. So it means that the top of this roof, let's go back here. The top of this roof here is exactly 9 meters. So 9 meters from top to bottom, more or less. Again, it's not extremely precise. So again, elevation 12 meters on street, elevation 25 meters here. So the entire top to bottom from here, it is 14 meters. And then again, you can just go back and keep adding measurements. Like this is 9 meters. The entire thing from top to bottom is 14 meters, and so on and so forth. So that is for the elevation. And we can see here like the gray part, like where my cursor is right now, it says elevation 25 meters, but if we go on the edge, it says elevation 26 meters. So it means that the trim, like this part here, the edge of the roof, is 1 meter higher than this actual part. So basically when you're going to make the mesh, this has to go, you have to extrude it inwards about 1 meter. And now to get some other measurements, like I'm interested how long is this part, how long is this part, and for that we can grab the ruler from here, and we're going to use 3D path. Do not use line, use 3D path. So Google basically makes this 3D mesh. Of course, if you don't have a 3D mesh, you'll have to figure out better ways to do this. But you just point your mouse and you can see, unfortunately the line is yellow, but as soon as I move outside of this trim, like you can see the line drops to the street level. So what I want is to have it like right on the edge, and then you do the same thing. See, it already dropped, and here is on the top, and this is roughly 28 meters. So you can just go and make a reference in Photoshop or something. Like the entire length here is 28 meters. So then we can do the same thing here and calculate this entire part. And again, look. Okay, here is a very good example. You can see where the line goes away because you're starting to go on the street level. The elevation drops. So we keep it about here and measure it the same on the left side. And this is roughly 8 point something meters. And yeah, you can just keep doing this over and over again until you get most of the measurements. You will see me doing this in the time lapse. This is 17 meters. And yeah, you will see how I prepare everything. One more thing, I keep all of my reference photos and measurements and all that in a software called PureRef. This is extremely good. I will link it in the description, and I will also link ShareX if you want to use this one. Very useful. It also has tools, screen color picker, all that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the time-lapse. Hope you enjoy, and if you have any comments which you want me to answer in the next video, drop them below and I will read them next time. Alright, take care, bye bye.